Well, ladies and
They
gentlemen, let me introduce this guy first. I know many of you
okay.
know him already. He is the co-founder and co-creator of the very first Bachata Festival in the world, which is the Sydney Bachata Festival. And to his credit, he taught Nestor bachata.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even Nestor mentioned that on the last
Yeah.
podcast that we have, which is now. My first question is: I know you're a shy town guy, right? You came from Chicago.
Yeah.
What the hell were you thinking going to Sydney? And when did you decide to live in Sydney?
So my story goes back before Chicago. I am from Ecuador. And then from Ecuador, I moved to do my university
Yeah,
to Chicago. And the move from Ecuador to United States is like it's very common because people just look up to the map. We want to go to the live the American dream. So it was
yeah.
like, okay, let's go United States, you know. And my mother was like, son, I believe in you. You can go far in life. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to United States. So that's when I went to Chicago. And actually, I learned my first steps, my first proper dancing steps in Chicago. Because as a good
Mm,
Latino, I believed I knew how to dance.
right.
But I never knew the steps properly. Anyway, that's a different story. And then, when I was in Chicago, I graduated. I was working, and actually, my company over there they offered me a PR to stay with them. But that means that I had to stay with them for 6 to 7 years until the PR gets processed.
Right.
And I was working some ridiculous hours there. I was just doing a lot of work, and the commute was a lot. So I was like, do I stay here and get my PR in United States? But then I had to be working ridiculous hours for 7 years more. Or I follow the advice that my mom told me that I'm going to go far in life. So I was like, okay, how far can I go? I opened the map and then I look Australia. Australia is very far. So I was like, I'm going to go far. I'm going to Australia. And that's it, man. Honestly, there's no particular reason why I chose Australia. I was like, I just need to go far.
And why Sydney in the first place? Jesus.
Yeah, Sydney, because it was the only city I knew of Australia at that time.
Uh huh.
I didn't know anything about Australia. I just knew Sydney, Opera House, and I was like, I'm gonna go there. And then here I came. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know nothing about the country. I need to leave, and then I came.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then you met Nestor. I mean, was that your first day, or you basically searched, hey, where can I find bachata in this city?
Yeah, so at that time, I was just to give credit,
Yeah.
I was dancing in Latin street dancing in Chicago with Andres Meneses. He
Oh,
was,
okay. All right. All
yeah,
right.
I'm sure you guys know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I did 2 years of Latin dancing with them, and then I came to Australia. And then I was already like, when dancing is so important.
Yeah.
So before I actually looked my accommodation, so I was near to a Latin dance school. I didn't know which Latin dance school was better, was worse. I just searched where can I dance salsa in Sydney, in the city.
Yeah.
At that time in Google, and then it showed that Latin Dance Australia was very close to my university, University of Sydney. So then I booked accommodation very close to these two locations. That was
Mm.
it. No, I didn't know Nestor, I didn't know Jamie, I didn't know nothing about Latin Dance Australia. So I arrived to Sydney. I went to my university orientation because I was doing my master's degree in Australia. And then the next day, the third day, I went to Latinas Australia LDA because I wanted just to dance. But I didn't have any like I didn't have much money because I was just putting all my money into the studies.
Right.
So then I went to the studio to Latinas Australia, and just my intention was to introduce myself, let them know that I'm the new guy in town, that I love dancing, that if they need a body to practice on, or if anything I can volunteer or help, to count on me.
Yeah.
So I went there, and the one who opened the door at LDA was Nestor. Nestor opened the door, hey, who are you? And I say
You know,
my
LDA
story.
at that time was owned by Oliver Pineda, no?
No, LDA was
Uh-huh.
owned by Jamie and Marcia.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, Latimotion is Oliver Pineda.
Oliver Pineda, which
Yeah,
he managed for a short while, correct?
Nestor
Nestor.
moved to Latimotion, yeah, a few years
Okay,
later.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my story. That's how I met Nestor, and Nestor being very charismatic and friendly. He right away, oh, you love dancing, and kind of like, oh, you're from Chicago, you're from overseas, you might know something that we don't know, So like, oh yeah, come to the classes, and then he, the same day, he's like, well, I'm gonna go dancing tonight, so come with me. I'll introduce you to everybody, and off I went. He was my first dancing friend in
Yeah.
Australia, the one that introduced me to a lot of people in the community.
Yeah. Um, well, I know that Chicago is one of the few city at the time that loves bachata.
Yes.
What was the scene like at that time, bro? I mean,
Sorry, I mean
obviously
Rebecca for the second time.
obviously you caught it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what was the scene like there? Was it kind of moderna-ish, traditional-ish type?
Yeah. So I like to say that we all learned like bachata traditional, which was a very close dance, and then it was just focused on the hip movement. Few turn patterns, but it was more close and in the hip movement. That was the most important part. So when I joined Latin dance, Latin street dancing, and then 1 year of dancing, I loved it. And then these guys opened auditions to become part of the team. To become part of the team, to perform, to teach, to go to gigs. So the schools were different as what they are now. Now we have multiple teams, but
Right.
at that time there was only one team. So then I auditioned because I was in love with salsa. Salsa was the king, even though there was still bachata, but salsa was the king.
Yeah.
You used to go to a nightclub that would play a lot of salsa, bit merengue, a bit bachata, and then back to salsa. So the merengue was to get the drink, and the bachata was to get the girl, because you could dance close to her. Yeah. And then the salsa was to dance. So I was like, okay, I have the opportunity to be part of the team of the professional team. So I did the audition.
Yeah.
They accepted me in it, so I was part of the professional team. Yeah, and then the first choreography that we need to learn for a performance was not salsa, was bachata.
It was
And I
bachata.
was
Yeah.
like, what the heck? I want to dance salsa, but then they said, no, we need to do a bachata because it's getting popular, blah, blah. Really taught me my bachata steps. And I hated it at the beginning. Oh, hello. Yeah. And I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it because I was not good at the body movement in bachata. And I remember I learned a routine, but I was like counting the days for this to finish. So then we can focus on salsa because that was my love.
I
And
see.
we did the bachata routine and everything. I learned my bachata steps, and okay, it was salsa. But then bachata was okay. I just used it, for other reasons.
Right. For
Yeah.
other stuff. Yeah.
But so that was my story in United States with bachata. Now,
Let's give a shout out to Jorge Elizondo here. He's saying hi.
hey,
As you know, Jorge is our partner in crime when we collaborated. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know the story, you should know it now.
yeah,
I went to Sydney Bachata Festival in 2008 in Juan and Nestor and Sky's very first Bachata Festival, or Sydney Bachata Festival, when I taught there, and they got me inspired and say, one of these days I'm gonna have to do this in the United States. And sure enough, after that festival, Juan here Facebooked me and said, "Bro, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to Bay Area, man. It's like, you have anything for me? You think you could host a workshop or something?" It's like, "Oh yeah,
mm-hmm.
I'm sure we could do something." So that was the plan. And
Yeah,
he didn't know this, but I had some epiphany and some type of ideas. Like I called Jorge. I was like, Jorge, Juan is going to be in the Bay Area. He's gonna do. I'm hosting him for a boot camp. Um, I think we should do a festival, man. I think we're just gonna have to do a festival. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Um, and so that was the
Yeah,
decision, right? I told you, okay, we're gonna do San Francisco Pro, blah blah blah. And then after a few weeks, I had this idea. I was like, hey, bro, I said, I'm a little uncertain about San Francisco, man. You think you want to do it in Reno? Let's try it in Reno first. Let's try it in a small city with cheaper hotels, and let's start from there and see how they respond. And sure enough, we had this collaboration with BB. I called BB and was like, BB, I'm gonna do a festival there, man. If you want to join or not, you should join because you're the godfather of salsa there. I was like, so he agreed, and so we had
yeah.
this collaboration among the four of us. That's also the time I met my future wife in that
I was there,
festival.
man. I was
I
there in the
remember
room.
we were partying in your room, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It was my room.
It was
You
your
owe
room.
me, man. You owe me your festival. You owe me your wife.
We did it at the Grand Sierra Hotel, which very fortunate now that I do the Reno Dance Expo there. At that time,
Hmm.
Grand Sierra Hotel was not that good. I think it was like it wasn't rated high, but now it's actually the number one hotel in this area. But that was the history, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what made you go to the Bay Area? By the way, did I invite you, or what happened?
So because from United States I moved to Australia,
Yeah.
I have family in Chicago. I
Oh,
still have
got it.
my sister
You're
was there in
visiting them, yeah.
Chicago. My brother was there. My mother lived in Indiana. So
Yeah.
I was gonna go visit them, and I had to
Yeah.
stop. There was flights from Sydney to San Francisco, Chicago, and then back. So that was like, dude, might as well let's do something about it.
So
Yeah.
before all of this festival, bro, before all of this festivals happened, before the idea even could happen, did you ever think you are going to be hosting a festival? Did you ever think you are going to be teaching bachata at all?
Oh no, man. No. I saw me teaching salsa.
Yeah,
That's what I saw
right.
my. That's
Yeah.
what I saw me. I'm gonna be teaching salsa, and I never thought about I would make it. I live out of dancing at the moment. I've been doing it for 10 years, and I never thought that I was gonna be a professional dancer, living out of events
Yeah.
or classes,
Yeah.
traveling, teaching. No, that's something that just grew organically. I just took the risk and I just went for it.
What was your feeling like when we were doing that festival in Sydney in 2008, and you were seeing all of these people coming from all over the world? What was the feeling like amongst the three of you?
Yeah, but I just want to add for all the viewers because they
Yeah.
probably think that I'm a salsero who just saw bachata as an opportunity, and I'm not. So
Oh, you
let
wanna
me
you
get
wanna
back
debunk
into
that myth, huh?
yeah. Let me go back into how I fell in love with bachata,
Yeah.
and then I decided for bachata to be my first dance. Yeah, okay. Otherwise, I don't want to be categorized as the salsero who is using bachata to get popular because
Right,
that
right,
was
right,
it.
right.
That wasn't me. Right. So, all right, let me go. Let's go back in history,
What
2004.
was the
When I moved
feeling
here.
like, bro? I mean, I know you guys were thinking just to have a good party, right? But
Yes.
then when it was happening, like let's say Saturday and Saturday night
Yeah.
already, what are you guys were talking about? What were you feeling?
Yeah. We actually started to see like, wow, we are creating something that we don't know when
Mhm.
more schools wanted to join our event, to put it that way, or the event. When we have more schools wanted to join, and then we had to open a second night
Yeah.
because just to accommodate everybody. And then when we got your email saying that you want to come and check it
Yep.
out, and when we
Yep.
got a noob's email, and then we have people from New Zealand as well wanted to come.
All
We
of
were
these
like,
teachers are emailing you.
yeah, we're like wow, it's good. It's a bachata event, but now it's becoming a festival,
Yeah.
So we were not planning to host a festival, but then it just grew, and then we decided, okay, let's just make it an official a festival.
I
So
think we have, you know what? We have to thank social media that gives, hasn't it been for Facebook with where all of these teachers and powers that be has seen that, they would have never emailed you or anything, you know?
Oh, 100%, man. So at that time was YouTube was first, and then social media, as the
MySpace.
Facebook. Yeah, MySpace was before that, but I was not part of MySpace, man. I was too young for that.
I was part of MySpace. I think I still have an account in MySpace. I am that old.
I remember that you had a massive MySpace presence.
I
I do
had
remember that.
like I had like 13,000 followers
Yeah,
on MySpace, bro. Yeah.
yeah. I
MySpace is where I met Alejandro Rey. You know, remember Hondo, right?
yeah, yeah,
I met
yeah,
Alejandro Rey, and he sent me his video. You know, one of his choreography where he playing the ukulele. You know how big he is, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then he plays the ukulele guitar doing bachata with partner and everything. It's like, hey, what do you think, Rodney? You know, that's how I
Those,
met him. That's also how I
uh,
met Zeke.
yeah, through
Zeke
MySpace.
Barbosa in MySpace. Yeah.
Yeah. For those young generations, before we used to brag about the number of followers we have in MySpace. We're like, this is me, and I have 10,000 followers on
That
MySpace.
doesn't count anymore.
And then we brag about the number of views we have on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is me, and I have millions of views of
Yeah.
YouTube. And then we brag about how many followers in Facebook, and how many
Facebook.
followers in
Yeah.
Instagram. Oh man.
But then we brag. It's like, hey man, I got over 10,000. Oh man, yeah, I got over 13,000. And then Ataka
Yeah.
Lalimana came, and then
Yeah.
even Christian Sola, for that matter,
Yeah.
with his first central video. And
Uh-huh.
then who else? Daniel
Carlos
Desiree
Cinta.
came.
Carlos
Yeah.
Cinta. One of his videos from Carlos Cinta, he was doing turn patterns. He
Carlos
was
Sinta
doing
too. He
footwork.
was
Yeah.
doing salsa pattern and bachata.
Yeah. And that, he was doing it turn patterns to look more, it was salsa patterns, but he made it look more bachata-ish. And
Yeah.
I used to follow him. So I brought him to us. I actually called him from Australia and say, dude, you don't know me, but I follow you on YouTube and I love your style. And he's
Fellow
like,
Chicagoan.
"What? Style of what?" I'm like, bachata. I'm like, okay, so what you want? Like, I want you to come to Australia to my festival. And he's like, dude, I've never done this. Pretty much, I took Carlos Cinta from wherever he was in Chicago to Australia, and
Yeah.
then his career just exploded.
Dude, I remember because I believe he went to Australia the first time on the second Bachata Festival, right? He went there, and
Mhm.
then he went again, whether it was at that Bachata Festival or he went again, that he got inspired by Moro and what was her former,
uh,
what was his
Moro
former,
and Alegría.
Moro Alegría, and they hang out together. And all of a sudden, after that trip, I see him
Yeah.
doing all of this Dominican stuff. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Who
I
are
was like,
you?
he like 360-degree turn, I was like,
Yeah,
awesome, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Let's get
then
serious about Bachata Moderna, bro, because I know who your influences are. So tell me your influences in Bachata Moderna, and I know I'll give you a lot of credit for
thank you.
structuring Bachata Moderna. So give me your who are your influences then, and what was your thought process structuring Bachata Moderna?
hmm So I was when I came to Chicago, when I came to Australia, I started to teach bachata
Yeah,
because there was no bachata at all in Sydney. So I was
yeah,
like, oh, I have this little flower here, so let me introduce people to bachata. And then I decided, you know what? Let's leave salsa to the side. There are too many salsa instructors. They're fighting for the top. Let them fight.
yeah,
Somebody needs to look after bachata. So I started the bachata movement here in Australia. I didn't plan it, but it just happened. But bachata wasn't much developed. It was
yeah,
just dance together, a lot of hip movements, one pattern, once again together. So when I started teaching it, everybody was like, "Yeah, let's learn a new dance." But then my knowledge at that time, we're talking about 2004, 2006, just kind of plateau. There
right.
was no more to create. We were just creating patterns with the same limitations. That it was just when you try to put too much decorations on a cake, it just doesn't look the same. It just looks. Eh.
Yeah,
But then I felt that I was getting to a plateau on my knowledge, and I was like, there has to be something more with the dance that we can do,
Yeah.
not just side to side, because before the movement was just side to side, close connection, turn pattern, side to
And
side.
it's all side to side. Yes.
Yes, side to side. Maybe just go around with your partner, and so
Yeah.
I kind of just felt like I have nothing else to teach. I have taught everything, and then I went to Malaysia. Oh, I used to watch videos on YouTube. I was trying to get inspired at the time. YouTube was the king in social media, and there was this guy Iñaki Fernandez with a video
Yes.
with Susana Montero.
I met him, bro. I met Iñaki. He's a very cool guy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Iñaki Fernandez and Susana Montero
Montero, yeah.
on a freestyle that they did in somewhere, maybe Spain somewhere, and the song as well wasn't like the traditional. It was kind of more like a newer bachata at that
We
time.
were questioning at that time. That was by Toque de Queda, no?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, correct. And but the steps that they were doing, honestly, at that time wasn't like was not bachata at that
Yeah.
time with the knowledge that we have.
Yeah.
And then, but I was like, that's cool. I like it. They're keeping the 4 beats, but they're adding more things. So I always intrigued me, like, this guy is doing something else. And then when I was invited to go to Malaysia to the Malaysian festival,
Yeah.
he was there as well. So I was teaching my bachata stuff, my bachata stuff and everything. And then I went to see his workshop, and then he taught the cross on one. He didn't
Yes.
call it a cross on one. I think he called it something else.
Probably
But
something else in Spanish.
yeah, they call it the Madrid style at
Right.
that time, which were used to
Italian
do
or Spanish style. Yeah.
of
Right.
the yeah. I remember he called it the Madrid style. And then there was a fight with Pablo Vilches and Iñaki, who started the Madrid style, who created this new movement, the crosses. Well, you know how everybody wants to get a
Yeah.
little bit of credit.
Yeah.
That's fine. I didn't get into that. But I saw Iñaki teaching this cross on one, and pretty much it's like you are here dancing side to side, and somehow you take your partner out of that bachata square that I
Right.
call it. And I was like, it is possible. There is. So then I came back to Sydney, and then I talked to my dance partner Samantha at the time, and then I say, listen, Sam, I saw this guy. He's able to take the dance partner out of the bachata square. I don't know how he did it, but we're gonna find ways for me to get you out of the bachata square. And honestly, with Sam, she just helped me. I have like this idea in my mind, and she helped me put it in different ways to say, okay, if you want to take me out of the bachata square, how about you leave me this way, and how about we try this other thing? So then with Sam, we were able to create 7 fundamentals now. I didn't know it was like kind of fundamentals, but 7 fundamentals that I could teach them. They were consistent. Could be done with different variations. So it wasn't just like my flavor, my styling. No, it was foundations that I could teach in with different handholds,
Right.
with different body position, but it was the same foundation.
Yeah.
So she helped me to create 7 of those things. And that was, for me, was like, wow, now I can teach this as something new that is still.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, I still want to make sure it looks like bachata.
Yeah.
I don't want to just have salsa patterns in bachata that looks like salsa. I want to make sure
Right.
that it looks bachata, but now has more intricate movement
Yeah.
on the dance floor. So yeah, man, that's how Bachata Moderna started to develop. And the name that I used, Bachata Moderna, was given at your festival.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Even we titled your workshops that way, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I loved it because you were the only one, or at least in our circle, not discrediting Iñaki, right?
Yeah.
Because he was very popular in Europe, and I met him at the Bachatando festival. But you were one of the few who got out of that circle, dude. It's like, fuck, he just broke the rules right there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like, whoa, you move out.
It's like you got out of the square. What the hell is Juan doing?
Yeah.
But then I was looking at you because I was curious, like, how did he structurize what we call now Bachata Moderna? Because it definitely was a traveling thing, but not just traveling within the square, but traveling outside of the square, which was really cool. There
Yeah.
was one time when I saw you turn her 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of going there, you went straight there on 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I was so cool. I loved it. Like, oh my God, this is so cool now. So my love for bachata just grew
Yeah,
again.
you did this, and I give you a lot of credit in really popularizing Bachata Moderna. And then, of course, we have Jorge Elizondo, who created the Bachata Fusion.
Yeah.
He fused it with some other like tango and everything.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
Jorge is one of the teachers who popularized Bachatango in the United States. Him and
Mm-hmm.
Camille, right? Give him
Mm-hmm.
credit for that. And then Tony
Yeah.
Lara is more of like the Italian style of bachata back
Yeah.
then. You guys were the only three doing that. Of course, I was doing mix of everything. I think I was doing sensual. I just didn't know about it
Yeah. You
because
were doing
I was
the wedge.
humping
I
everyone.
remember the wedge. You go down with the hips with your
Yeah,
partner.
yeah.
Yeah.
The hip roll,
The
yeah,
hero,
everything.
yeah.
I think I was humping everyone, man. And then of course after that we went in our own way. I got into traditional.
Yeah.
Jorge really permanently labeled his as bachata moderna, and not bachata
Fusion.
fusion, and then you bachata moderna. And
Yeah.
at that time Tony was labeling Italian style bachata,
Yeah.
which is obvious in his DVDs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Correct.
that's a
Yeah.
lot of history right there, dude.
Like,
Do you get surprised sometimes, or do you get more of like a type of like a compliment in an indirect way when dancers that you see now is like, oh, wait a minute, that's my move.
Oh yes. Oh, 100%. 100%. And sometimes they don't know,
Yeah,
because now it just became so popular with the Madrid, with the sensual style. They use the crosses everywhere. Phenomenal. I remember when I started teaching, when I was traveling and started teaching the crosses, people were like, fuck, no, man, it's too difficult. This is too
yeah.
complicated. Just teach us something more simple. So I had to just tone it down. But then
There
when
are
you see just
three.
the process take off and then people just getting comfortable with it,
Yeah,
I was like, good, you know what? It doesn't necessarily, I had to, I had to teach them, but if other people that just being inspired from my work and
yeah.
I teach them, that's good.
It's same
That's
with
really
me.
good.
There are three moves I used to do sensually. You know that hip roll? Yeah,
Yeah,
they do that. The leg hooks, like the tango leg hooks, they do
yeah.
that. And then there's only one who copied this move, and where I put you close here, I dip you in a frontal dip, and
Mm-hmm.
then turn at the same time. And then turn at
Mm-hmm.
the same time. Daniel and Desiree copied that, but
They got
um,
better. They improved it and made it look better.
dude, Daniel and Desiree's video, I think I shared one where they included everything: fusion, moderna,
Yeah,
sensual, traditional,
yeah.
and they dance it with Romeo song and Kiko Rodriguez. You know that song
Beautiful.
is very popular.
Yeah,
I shared it
yeah,
because I got excited. I was like, damn, now that's,
yeah.
wow,
That's
that's modern
yeah,
bachata right there
everything
in every
together,
sense of the word. Yeah,
everything together, all the years of evolution
I
together.
loved it. A lot of
Yeah.
purists didn't like it, but that's okay.
You know what? Going to a bit, giving credit to what you say at the Reno Bachata Festival when I was there, you asked me to do a demo with
Yeah,
Camille.
with Camille,
And
yes.
typical Rodney, you just came in, hey, dude, bro, I want you to do a demo tonight. And with Camille, she's here. And I was like, who's Camille? Oh, she's Camille. And I was like, hi, I'm Juan. And she's like, hi, I'm Camille. And like, we need to do a demo. And she's like, okay, what are we gonna do? We're like, oh shit, And at that time, I was just starting to push my dancing career. So that was a very big moment for me to put myself in the center with this
Yep.
brand new style and with a girl that I don't know
Yeah.
in a festival that I don't know anybody as well.
You
And
guys
also
did it
went.
that afternoon. You did the choreography that afternoon and performed it that night.
Yeah, we did. We choreographed the first 20 seconds because we have a short move from the chair and
Yeah.
everything, and then the rest was just pure freestyle.
Yeah,
And then
that's the thing.
and then that video created so many haters.
Oh yeah.
People hated me when it went viral on my channel. And guys, people were like, "You're destroying bachata," because I was using as well a bachata song from an Italian singer.
Mm.
So it was not the traditional
It was more
flavor.
of like what we used to call techno bachata at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever. Yeah, I would
yeah,
like to call it experimental bachata. They were experimenting with bachata, you know. So that was me using an experimental techno bachata song, doing new bachata steps.
yeah.
So man, I got a lot of love, a lot of haters, but that video helped me to become popular
That's
because a
true.
lot of people were saying, "Oh, this is shit. This is
Yeah,
crazy. This is wrong." But then they were sharing the video, pointing the
yeah,
wrong things. But then people would say, "Oh, I actually like it," and then they
yeah,
start following me. That's
yeah.
how like I give credit to Carlos Rufino. Remember the biggest troll in bachata? He trolled me because of that video. He started to troll me, but thanks to him, he increased my followers
Popularity. Yeah.
by a lot. So I used to hate the guy, but then I was like, please keep doing it
I
because you are exposing my work to more
you
people.
know I met him in person and became good friends for like a minute there.
For like a minute.
He is, in person. He is definitely a troll. He's a very good guy in person. It's just
Mm.
that my in my psychological in my psychology expertise, I would say, is that he only does that on Facebook because he has certain goals, and he almost met that when he became friends of mine because I wanted him to teach at my festival. I wanted him to walk his talk, you know.
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
because a lot of people, a lot of trolls on Facebook, they only talk, but they
I
can't
think
walk.
that the trolls were on at the time were on YouTube because YouTube was more you didn't have a proper profile page. So you
Yeah,
could be more anonymous and
right,
definitely just
right.
talk so wrong about everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's a good guy in person. I don't agree with him on in the social media, and I told him that, like, dude, I can't defend you there because
Yeah.
one time he criticized one of my attendees at festivals of fat shaming, and I was like, dude, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's like I don't agree with what you're doing. He was like, so, anyways, now Juan, 2020
Hmm.
before
2020.
pandemic,
Yeah.
you have a thriving dance studio in the center of it all in Sydney. You're in downtown, bro. You showed me
Yeah.
that studio. It's not that big, it's not that small, but it's
Hmm.
perfect for that location.
Yeah. Oh, the location is beautiful. I'm like 200 meters away from the Central Park in Sydney.
Yeah,
And just,
yeah,
yeah, it's really good. I've been there since 2011.
yeah. So
Almost.
you
Yeah.
haven't left that place, huh?
I haven't left that place. I haven't left that place because the location was always the greatest thing.
Oh,
The
the
space,
location is perfect, dude.
yeah, the space tricky because it's small, but the location was just so good.
Yeah,
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 because we used to get a lot of the people that work in the city to come to the studio
yeah.
right away.
True.
Yeah.
Um, do you? I know you went to Malaysia, right?
Hmm.
For a festival, correct?
Yes.
How
Yeah.
was that like? Because those were one of the first festivals in Asia.
Yeah, I went to the Malaysian Salsa Festival. I think I went for the third festival.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I think I went for the third one, and then I went to the fourth one. I think I went for 3 years in a row.
yeah,
Um, it was good, man. The vibe, people over there in Malaysia, in Singapore, and Vietnam, they just love Latin dancing. They just they want more knowledge. So I went to the festival, and then I was able to organize different trips to other countries to continue teaching. So yeah, it was I always find them very friendly and very eager to learn more.
that's good.
Yeah.
Now, let's get to the issue of what were you feeling like when you were being criticized during the early days of innovating bachata. I call it innovating bachata
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
because all of us as professional dancers, depending on each background, whether it's ballet, ballroom, what have you, salsa, we tend to innovate what we grew up on, what we grew up on as
Hmm.
students. And so, what was your thought process like when you have critics like that?
Oh man, when that video I was telling you it started to go popular on YouTube, and I started to receive a lot of love, which made me feel really good.
Yeah.
But then I started receiving, one negative comment. I was like, okay, and then two negative comments, and then three, four, five, six, and suddenly it's a lot. And then you have like Carlos Rufino just telling you that you're a clown, that you're stealing money from people, that you're destroying the culture, and like
Yeah.
it definitely makes you question your work, and if you're doing things right. It definitely just gets in you. But for me, that was a good growth process
Yeah.
because I developed a thick skin. And
Right.
now I know the more successful you are, the more people are going to be, the more critics you're going to have.
Yeah.
So that is a way to measure your success as well. The more critics you have, because you're doing something really good.
Yeah.
So once I put my mindset into that one, I accepted all the negative comments, and actually I read them, and I would say, okay, try to understand where they come from. Some of them
Yeah.
will be just pure hatred. Some of them will actually give me some feedback on it,
Right.
and then I will take that and then put it into my bachata moderna style because I always want to stay true to the bachata essence.
Yes.
So I will used to incorporate moves from other styles, but I would say like I had to change the shaping and I had to change the timing
Yeah.
so it looks bachata. Otherwise, it's gonna look like let's say a ballroom move with the bachata timing, which is not
Yeah.
what I want. I want it to look bachata with the right timing. So they helped me. They helped me grow a lot and to polish the style that I'm known for. So then when
A
the
good
people see
thing.
it,
Yeah.
they say it's bachata.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
bachata. Yeah.
Well, what I like about what bachata had become, okay, um,
Mm.
because bachata was only dance in the Dominican Republic at that time. Let's get technical here and let's get to the root and let's get to the root and the modern like. Let's see if you agree with me, okay?
Okay.
Yes, it was
Tell me
only
your
dance.
side because I have my side too. It will be good to
Yeah,
compare.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
only dance at that time, the Dominican Republic. Not to mention in the rural
Uh-huh.
areas only, not really in the capital, because
Yeah.
some elites really didn't like it. Not to mention they only
Yeah.
love merengue. Okay. The thing is, what happened is that let's take up the word bachata. Bachata at that time was not about the dance. Never. It
Mm-hmm.
was about hanging out, having parties with your families and friends. They call that bachata.
Yeah.
They call that
Yeah.
bachata, okay?
Yeah. I agree.
What do you call the music at that time? It was not bachata. Música de amargue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It was música de amargue. You know it because it's all sad songs.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Yeah. Yeah.
trying to kill themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Drink away.
Yeah, drink away. And so
Drink
when
away
they
your
had
sorrow.
bachata party, as they call it,
Yeah.
not only they were drinking, they were dancing to reggaeton, they were dancing to merengue, they were dancing to salsa, they were dancing to bolero, they were dancing to bachata, everything, and they called that bachata. Okay,
Yeah.
of course, it certainly evolved to bachata as we call it now, the music. Okay, but the dance at that time, bachata was just a bolero-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in fact, they didn't call it bolero. They call it bolero, but they didn't call it bachata. They just called them, hey, the dancers there. So now, when it became apparent to some other countries liking that dance,
Yeah.
they cannot help it but put their own flavor,
Yeah.
their own culture in that dance. You can't help it. Whether it's Filipino bachata, American bachata,
Yeah.
Ecuadorian bachata, Australian bachata, you
Yeah.
name it. You can't help it because that's just the way it is. Now, when I look at Bachata Moderna, Bachatango, Bachata Fusion, Sensual, I don't call this evolution, bro. I call them innovation.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
if I stick to the word evolution, Bachata Moderna is an evolution of bachata. Bachata Sensual is an evolution of bachata. There's got to be a very concrete, traceable original structure of the traditional bachata to evolve on something, right? I
Yeah.
mean, when they say we evolved from monkey, yeah, okay, I see it, there's just a little bit of okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Neanderthal man, the Peking man, we
Yeah.
go to that history. So it's innovation. So when you call sensual bachata, bachata moderna, bachata fusion, traditional bachata as bachata,
Yeah.
that makes sense because in the old days, the name bachata is
Yeah, it
party.
was everything. You
Yeah.
know what? I'm gonna
What do you think?
I agree with everything that you mentioned back in the island. Yes, that's how it was. But I like to add that the music got out of the island,
Indeed.
and
Yes.
especially in United States, and thanks to Aventura, you know, and Extreme, they are the ones that made it popular with to the young people, to the youngster. So we were given this beautiful music, but there was no guidelines of how to dance it.
Yes.
We just have like the four steps and that's it. And plus it was a very romantic feeling. So that's I feel like people just created something to dance to the beautiful music that was
Of
given
course.
to us.
Yeah.
And then and I'm sure, I mean, the internet wasn't popular at that time, so the Dominicans couldn't see how we were dancing their music. There was no connection there until like the internet became popular, and then the
Yes.
Dominicans saw
Of
what we
course.
were how we were dancing their music, and they were like,
Yeah.
what are you guys doing? That's not how it is done. And we were like, well,
Yeah.
we want to dance it, so we just incorporated what we came from, you know.
Yeah.
We had this
Yeah.
music, and so it was not like a we never wanted to step away from the Dominicanos and how they danced, but we just wanted to dance to the music. We didn't have any guidelines,
Yeah.
so we all just try to put our knowledge in it and just to enjoy the music. No, but
And
yeah,
that's exactly what happened, and that's what's happening. That's what happened in Spain. That's
yeah,
what happened in Italy, Australia, and you name it, United States for that matter.
yeah,
And of course, if you look at now, because of the social media, if you look at the Dominican Republic, they started doing side to side, traveling side to side. They didn't do
mhm,
that. Now they start doing that now.
yeah,
Although when they social dance, I don't see them doing it.
yeah. It's I love the man. I love the innovation, call it evolution, whatever it
I
is.
love
I
it. I love
love
it.
the growth of bachata to
Yeah.
where it is now because it has it's becoming a more complex dance. It's not as simple as one, two, three, tap, 5, 6, 7, tap, and that's it. Now you know bachata. Now
Yeah.
there is a lot more. You know the movement to make it look sensual. You have the body movement to make it look sensual. The footwork to incorporate the Dominican part of it.
Yeah.
The turn patterns to incorporate the Bachata Moderna side of it, and then all
Yeah.
these other influences for other dances. I enjoyed it. Like in my studio, even though I'm known for Bachata Moderna, I don't just solely teach Bachata Moderna
Good.
because, like you mentioned, the video
I
from the
noticed you
Mussolini,
teach sensual now too.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I always say the music will tell you which style to bring to it. And actually, it's kind of good right now because there's just so many styles of bachata that you just dance bachata. That's it. You're just dancing bachata, and then the music tells you to put a little sensual, to put a bit of footwork Dominican,
Yeah.
to do some nice turn patterns. So you cannot just dance one style on its own. It just becomes too, let's put it, too simple. You
Yeah.
have to bring now everything else into one. So I think we're getting back now. So we started with bachata. We created all these different styles, variation, but now we're putting everything together into bachata once again.
Yeah. Once again, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing because the testament to that is that video I was telling you about Daniel and Desiree.
Hmm.
I don't know if they knew what they were getting into when they did that choreography, or even if that was a choreography, or just they were just winging it. It
Yeah.
was the representation of all
Yeah.
bachata and its modernity.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved it because the flavor was there, the structure was there, the
Yeah.
the fanciness was there.
Yeah.
I loved it,
I
man.
know, man. I
Getting back to your point, I
uh-huh.
agree with the point where you were saying that when a foreigner try to learn the bachata and they learn it and they bring it to their country, they can't help but put in their
Mm.
influences and whatnot. Now,
Yeah.
to my friends at the traditional part, because some of you are really 100% traditional, and I don't hold that against you. I
Hmm.
am 100% traditional when it comes to uh, preference of social dancing. Not,
Yeah.
bad. Although I don't mind dancing sensual, if a lady would ask me to dance sensual with her, I'm okay. I'm not gonna say no. I'll do. But during that time, the Dominicans, when that music was introduced, música de amargue, when they're trying to figure out the moves, they were getting their influence. What were their influences? Cuban son, bolero, some merengue right there. So you could tell that the original moves right there were bolero structure and son structure, and that they borrowed that from. It's not.
Oh yeah.
It's not because bachata just came to be and all
Oh
of this
yeah.
move is
100%.
really bachata. And that's what we're trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Juan, that's what we're trying to say, that with the influence that we have, we would somehow fuse it to what we're dancing at that time. So
Yeah, we all took our influences, but there was a good thing about us pioneers is that we wanted to make sure it looks bachata.
indeed,
We
indeed,
just
indeed.
just don't just take something from another dance and then just leave it as it is.
Yeah,
But we have to make sure that the shaping looks bachata. And that's the I always say like some people wants to give credit like these moves come from souk. Well, actually, that move comes from tango. That souk used it, and now Bachata Central is using it. And I'm sure tango got that move from something else, and then
I
that
agree.
dance
Yeah,
got from something else.
yeah,
So I always say like the moves are used and reused by all the styles. You just need to make sure that you give it the right shaping and the right timing to
yeah.
look that style of dance that you want to represent.
Yep, I
Yeah.
agree. And labeling. What do you think of labeling?
Labeling, I think, is good to represent the style. So just to give people the right idea what they are watching or what they are learning, especially if you're going a little bit more to the experimental side of things. So that's thing like I've seen some instructors teaching moves that are not bachata with bachata music, especially with the bachata remixes, because the bachata remixes gives you a lot more freedom in that
Freedom.
sense to
Yeah, yeah,
integrate more of the hip hop R&B feeling.
yeah.
And then when they say come, learn bachata, I feel like they need to add some extra labeling to indicate yes, this is bachata, but this is more of this style of bachata.
I can live with that. I agree with that. Now, let me ask you a very specific question. Which
Mhm.
do you prefer and why? Traditional bachata, name, or Dominican bachata?
I I will say good question, good question. I would say like to kind of respect the people. I will say Dominican bachata the culture, but however, it's more popular just to call it traditional bachata. At the same time, how we call it Cuban salsa. It's a specific type of salsa. I'm fine just
Indeed,
calling
indeed.
Dominican bachata.
Yeah.
Even though we will say bachata is bachata, but you know what? It has a uniqueness, the people that dance from the island. So I'm happy to call it Dominican bachata without it taking away that they're the creators of bachata. Yeah.
I uh, I know that sometimes I call it traditional, and sometimes our colleagues, call it traditional, and they prefer it to
Yeah.
call it such. I disagree, dude. Uh, this is just me, ladies and gents.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have
What
no
did you
filter
prefer?
whatsoever. I disagree to call it traditional bachata
Uh-huh.
because they don't know what that is. Okay, if you call it Dominican bachata, this is to identify and give credit
Yeah.
to what Dominican does, the way they dance it,
Yeah.
because if you call it traditional, then you have to dance bolero.
But then I had the debate that
Yeah,
the people saying like, what do you even call it Dominican bachata? It should be just bachata.
you call it Dominican bachata to distinguish
Yeah.
the differences. That's
Yeah.
really the answer for it. To distinguish the differences between the other styles now, you know.
Yes. Oh,
Uh,
I agree with that. Yes.
yeah, to
Yeah.
distinguish. Now, I don't want to call it traditional because if you say traditional, you have to dance bolero.
Mhm.
you know
Yeah.
so that's the reason I call it. I know I had some debate with this with some of our friends. I call it Dominican bachata. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. It came from, that's the way they dance in the Dominican Republic,
Yeah.
and that's the one. By the way, I gotta give credit to our Dominican bachata artist. The Dominican bachata artist or that style is
So are you talking
very
about the
popular
dancers
as
or the
sensual
singers?
now. They're as popular as sensual.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But the pioneers, the one that made Dominican style popular, were Troy and Georgette.
It is indeed. We cannot
Yeah,
deny this.
yeah.
I have to. I have to be upfront because I've been trying to decode Dominican bachata for a long, long time. Even when I was in Dominican Republic for the first time, I could not decode it. Now until I keep watching Troy and Georgette, especially the Dominican barbershop.
Oh yeah, those videos were popular at that time.
And of
Everybody
course,
can say we need to
I
dance
was
on
looking at Georgette. I wasn't looking at Troy, dude.
You were looking at his boldness. Like, I want to be like him with his glasses too. Oh,
It's
my
I love
character.
it because he would dance and the audience is there. He would turn and put Jets back into the audience. Like, okay, I see
Yeah,
what you're doing, Troy.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's true. And it's good to go back into the history to see
No, I love it.
the moments that influence, movement and changes in
Oh,
people.
I've been getting right now. I've been getting into old style songs of merengue, bro.
Yeah,
Going back to Giovanni Polanco and all of those pioneers. It's
yeah.
it's a little different, and there's some flavor to it that I really love. So I've been getting into merengue, not necessarily the moderna type of music, but
Hmm.
I like the old ones.
Yeah.
It's I've been getting into that lately because I feel that if you know bachata, you gotta know merengue. That's just the way
It
it is.
shows it shows your
Just like
age, man.
salsa,
Yeah,
you gotta know cha cha cha. Otherwise, they
yeah.
will kill you. You know?
That shows your age, man. All you master something, then you're like, okay, now I need to know the original beginnings, the roots, and then you go way back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we all do that, man. But that's good.
So
I haven't followed my merengue, so you can educate me
yeah,
there.
merengue is, it's just, I just love the fluidity of it and the simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the most simple dance is the best dance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with
Um,
that.
what do you organize nowadays besides the Sydney Bachata Festival?
So, national events, I have the Cine Bachata Festival, and then I was part of the Baron Latin Fiesta with the
Byron, oh, okay.
Yeah, so that is another national event. However, I stepped down of that one in 2018.
Oh, okay,
In
okay.
2018, I stepped down because I find that running my dance studio was taking me a lot of time, and then the Bachata Festival too. And then
Yeah,
I started to organize a lot of more local events.
okay.
So I have four big parties in Sydney, one every
Nice.
month. Yeah, so the four big parties in Sydney, plus I have two monthly parties in Sydney as well.
So, bro,
So,
on a good night in Sydney, okay, just Sydney
mhm.
alone, on a one particular party, on the best night, how many people shows up?
Oh, well, and I'm telling you, for my four big ones, I used to get like around 400 people
Nice.
at the parties.
And
But those are like
how much do you charge at the door?
well, I'm talking about these special events.
Oh, okay, I
When
got you. I got
yeah,
you. Yeah.
these special events. Now for the weekly parties, my parties, one party was at my studio, so we were limited by the capacity. So I would say
Yeah.
like 100, 150 people will come through the door. And then I have another party in a different venue, and we used to get, 300 people
Nice.
coming. Easy, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a great. I mean, did you think that you were going to organize other festivals besides Sydney Festival, Sydney Bachata
I
Festival?
didn't, I didn't think I was gonna be a promoter. I learned how to be a promoter, how to talk to people, and as a promoter, you go to a restaurant, any new restaurant, you just like,
Yeah, you do.
you just picture, okay, if I remove all the tables, how many meters do I have? How many couples can I fit? Idea. So everywhere I go, I was look, yeah, I could
Yeah.
use this. I could
You're
use
not
this.
the only one, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to become a promoter, that's exactly what you do every day. If
Yeah, eh?
everywhere you go, it's like okay,
Uh-huh.
it's just like a photographer. Everywhere you go,
Yeah.
you got to bring that camera, right?
Uh-huh. And I'm like, okay, and then write it down, and then I have it there in the back of my mind. I'm looking for a new venue, or I even just take two venues just to have them ready in case I need something. The
Yeah.
opportunity, yes, sure.
Another secret of mine is that whenever me and my wife, or just me, staying at a certain hotel.
Yeah.
If I like the hotel, I'm gonna talk to the manager right there and then.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
so most of the hotels that I'm doing my event at, that's exactly what happened.
yeah. Here in Australia, the hotels at the time when I started the festival, the Cinema Bachata Festival, the hotels were not interested in hosting this sort of events. They made it very difficult. Like when we used to share information, you used to say, "Oh, the hotel will give me a discount, and then the ballroom if I bring that many people." In Sydney, we're like, "No, you bring that many people, no, we're not gonna give you nothing." Like, what about the ballroom? Oh, you still need to pay you 20 grand. I'm like, what? I'm gonna bring you people, and they were not interested at all. So that's why uh, Australia started to develop the culture of having the festival in a venue and then the accommodation in a different place
That's the
because
same
the
way in
hotels
Europe.
were not helping.
That's the same way in Europe because Europe hotels are also tough to deal with. The only
Yeah,
the only person who got away with that in the early days is Tony Lara. He had that Sex Essential festival
yeah.
in the hotel in the airport area of Heathrow. You know,
Huh.
uh, yeah, that was the
Yeah,
only time. And then of course you got Pablo Vilches, Bachatea, and all that with the hotel. But I tell
yeah,
you, they will always have problem with the hotels because
yeah,
Europe is very hard to deal with.
yeah. Now it's different. Now the hotels are helping more,
Yeah.
but still
Uh,
not as much as the culture that you guys have.
Well,
The hotel
especially
with
after this
accommodation.
pandemic, they want your business.
Oh, man,
So,
we don't know.
guys, that would be an idea, bro,
Yeah.
for Sydney Bachata Festival next year or the other year. You gotta,
So,
you guys gotta take action with that because that's when the hotel needs anyone.
yeah, yeah. We actually move out west. Here in Sydney, they have the RSLs. You
Yeah.
know where we had the first Bachata Festival? Remember
Yes.
that venue?
Yes. Yeah. That's in
So
what's that in a school or university or something, right?
that is the first year was an RSL.
Yeah.
That is a private venues, but they're managed by the state to give a place for the people to go and just go out at night.
Okay.
Put it that way. It
Yeah.
usually is mostly due for the people who went to the army, the reservists, to have a place kind of to hang out. Now picture that place times 10, 10 times 10. So we have one that is a little bit outside of Sydney that is huge.
Can
It's
you divide
huge.
it? Can you divide the rooms?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, good.
We used it for 2 years, and it's just amazing, man. It's just a big bubble. We have different rooms, three dancing rooms, four worship spaces. It is close to a hotel, so it is adjacent to a hotel as well. So they are our partners now for the festival.
Man,
We
I
have to
love the
move it.
idea. I love the idea of a hotel. You know me, bro. My
Yeah.
events are in the fucking hotel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
It's
expensive.
better to have everything in one place because it creates more community,
Oh yeah,
especially at night. Before and after the parties, you have that community sense.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think of? Okay, so before we used to party until 2 a.m., right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
at the festivals, right? Even in
Yeah,
Reno, we did that until 2 a.m. Okay,
yeah,
now it's extended to 6 or 7 a.m.
yeah.
What do you What do you think of this format? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I'm gonna tell you my opinion after yours.
Yeah, okay. It all depends, to be honest, of the city restrictions and the hotel restrictions.
Right.
In Australia, forget about
You can't
partying
do it, huh?
until 5 or 6 a.m. The
Oh,
venues
really?
won't allow you.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they won't allow it. They are a lot more loose right now. But we could only run our venues until 2 a.m. That's it.
Wow.
We couldn't go more because the city you will just put a lock. Say it's not a lockdown, but just rules that no venue can open until past 2 a.m. And if you want to open past 2 a.m., then you need to apply, and the application was just way too much effort. So that's why we never wanted. We couldn't push it. Now this venue that I'm mentioning, with the new regulations and everything, we can have parties until 4 a.m.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, then we can have 4 a.m. But so for Sydney, we always wanted it. For Australia, we always wanted it, but we just couldn't do it because just the city restrictions. So we couldn't do nothing about it. So when we hear about United States and Europe having parties until 4 or 6 a.m., I will tell you. Well, right now I'm older. Now I'm a family man, so I don't look forward to stay up till that early in the morning. But when if I was younger, I would have loved to be able to party till that.
Well, congratulations on your newborn, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah,
Is
6 months,
it a boy or a girl?
boy.
How old?
Boy.
How many months is he now?
6 months in the
And
18.
how does
Yeah.
it feel like when that boy came out, man? How did you feel?
Oh man, it was a beautiful feeling. It was just at the beginning of the lockdown here in Sydney.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
lockdown for us started for my school. We closed the school on the 16th of March. He came on the 18th of March.
Well,
So
that was perfect. Now you got all
it
the
was
time.
it was the perfect timing. I
Yeah.
have no events. I used to be out at night on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday because there were events or nights that I was part of, or you had to attend as a promoter, you had to
Mm.
support. So yeah, so suddenly I didn't have any of my night obligations. So perfect time for me to be at that. Perfect time. I
Um, Going back to that point about the 6 o'clock, you
Yeah.
know, I sort of followed Tony Lara because he always has to party until 6 a.m.
Hmm.
and going to his festivals, there are no gaps. That's people dancing from 10 p.m. all the way to 6 a.m. nonstop. There are no gaps.
Yeah.
However, in United States, okay, in my observations with my festivals and other festivals, the problem with extending until 6, you got a gap, meaning, okay, well, we're gonna party until 6, so let's drink into my room until like 1 o'clock. Guess what
Yeah, yeah,
happened?
that happened. Yes.
Guess what happened? So
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
had
that
this room
happened.
parties. While they're having these room parties, that ballroom is almost practically empty.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
they come in, they miss the DJ playing they like, and so it's like
yeah.
a mess. And so like I had to rethink that. So
Uh-huh.
if this ever happen again, I'm gonna have to rethink it whether I'm gonna implement a 6 or make it early so that all the dancers are there because they know the deadline of the
Yeah.
dance. You
That's
know?
true. I never experienced that problem here in Sydney because we couldn't have it past 2 a.m. So, but
Sure.
yeah, when I went to your festival for the 10th anniversary, yeah, when you put me to DJ, I think 4 a.m., I was like, dude, can I request an early set? And he's like, nobody's gonna be there to hear your music. And I was like, no, put me
See?
at 11.
Yeah.
Because for me, the 11 to midnight set is the big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're like, dude, nobody's gonna come to dance with you. And
Yeah.
it's true. The ballroom was empty. People were at the rooms having parties.
See, people took it for granted. It worked for a while, and then all of a sudden you see some gaps on certain
Yeah.
hours. It's like, I don't like that, because
Yeah.
it's either that you close it at 2 a.m. Here's my perfect idea. Okay, you got, let's say, 4 rooms, right? Kizomba, bachata, salsa, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Close it at 2 a.m. and then after 2 you have what we call after party in one room where you include everything.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Me and
Yeah.
uh, Carlos Cinta and Ismael had been trying to propose this one room type of party where everybody can
Yeah.
dance. I was like, what about the people who prefers this? What about the people because they can't dance this? And then they said, well, there's workshops. They got to learn it.
Yeah. I think yeah, that's a tricky one because there are parties there are times that you wanna just and dance your favorite style and get better at it with social dancing. You
I'm
know?
one of those people. I'm one of those.
Yeah. And then there are times when you just wanna socialize with people. You
Yeah,
don't care the style. You just wanna have your drink, get to know the people, just have fun dancing. So I think we need to look at for those times that people just want to dance the dance style and get crazy and improve, and then there are times where you just want to socialize and just get to know more people and just relax. So the
all
concept
right,
of the
brother.
after party to have that room, that's good because
Yeah,
the purpose is not there for you to have the best dances. The
I
purpose
agree.
there is to socialize and get to know other people in the community.
I agree. All right. So where can they find you? What are your websites nowadays? Because I know you have certain websites where you wrote articles there here in the
Yeah.
for some good info.
Yeah, so that was my bachateros.com website.
That
And what I
AU?
have,
Yeah. Is it
what
still
I
on?
have, it's still on. It focuses more to sell my DVDs,
Okay. Okay.
my instructional videos. I use it more for that. The articles, they are still there as an archive.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
it has a lot of the history there.
Yeah.
So that's my like to buy my DVDs, bachateros.com. But then definitely find me people in Instagram on
Okay.
my just search for my name Juan Ruiz or on YouTube as well. I always put my videos in YouTube
Juan
because
Ruiz. Yeah.
it's a good library. And then on Facebook,
On
find me. And
Facebook,
then
Juan
my
Ruiz
school,
also, right?
yeah, my school is
What's the
Tropical
name of
Soul.
your studio?
My studio is called Tropical Soul Dance Studio.
Tropical Soul Dance Studio,
Dance
ladies
Studio.
and gents, in
Yeah.
Sydney. If you want to find my friend here. Okay. Here are two last questions.
All
Your
right.
top five ultimate bachata musician.
Musicians. Okay. Number one, Romeo Santos, without a doubt.
Okay.
Especially with his latest work. Ooh,
Uh,
amazing.
his
Yeah.
latest work. You notice it's not putting out any album right now because it's still being enjoyed. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, that just blew. He just brought back the traditional flavor
he
with the
kicked
modern.
everyone's ass, dude.
It was like Aventura at that time. You
Yeah,
know, when Aventura brought the music, and we're like, oh my God. And then Romeo Santos did it 10 years later.
yeah.
Yeah. So that is, for me, that's the best one. I do enjoy the music of Luis Vargas
Luis Vargas.
and Luis Vargas, and then the Anthony Santos as well
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
on the traditional side. Those are
yeah.
the two ones that I enjoy the most. And then for the newer ones, I like Daniel Santa Cruz
Of course, yeah.
because he creates music for other singers too. So yeah, and I like that. And he doesn't get the credit that
No, he
he
doesn't
should
really
get.
get a lot of credit, but I
Yeah.
like his songs.
Oh yeah, I learned and a lot of the songs that you like from other singers,
Yeah,
he has created them. You know, he has given to them.
yeah.
So I like that because of what he brings to the community. And then and then I do like a Grupo Extra as well. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that. And then another and a singer that I think that is gonna be he's the triple trifecta, as I call it, is Danny J. The
Danny
guy can
J, you really
sing,
like Danny J,
the guy can sing, the guy can dance, and he's a good-looking guy. And you
huh?
don't have that, Romeo Santos, good-looking guy, he can
Yeah,
sing, he cannot dance.
yeah.
Danny J can do the three. Danny J could be teaching workshops, bachata workshops to in congresses, and he will look better than some other professionals.
I got to tell you a story about Danny J. There was a man who messaged me on Facebook before my Las Vegas event.
Yeah.
I say, "Hey, Rodney, my name is blah blah blah. I happen to be in Vegas. I'd like to go to your festival, and check it out." And here I am because I didn't know him. I was like, "Sure, just come in. Passes this, how much month?" And this is like, okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he came in. Somebody told me it was Danny J.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
my face. I'm like, what the
What the
fuck?
heck?
And
Yeah.
then when I saw Danny J like couple of years ago in the Bay Area, it's like I went to him. It's like, Danny, I'd like to apologize.
Officially
I'd like
apologize.
to apologize that I ignored you in Las Vegas. I had no idea. It didn't cross my mind. I was like, now I know. My apologies. Like, don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
It's
he's a great
funny
guy.
how it goes, right?
Yeah.
So
He's a
anyway,
great guy.
it's good hanging out with you, bro. We went for like hour and a half. That's unusual, right?
Wow.
Right?
Indeed. Yeah, that was good. That was very entertaining conversation, man.
That was good. I mean,
Like
we
the good old
even had
times.
our partner in crime, Jorge, join us, and some other great people here. As I was looking at it, oh my God,
Yeah.
even Andrea for a minute was watching there. So that means ace. But
Ah, cool.
anyways,
Cool, cool.
I gathered that next year you guys are not gonna do the festival, or you're still gonna do it.
We don't know. It's hard to plan 2 weeks in advance with this pandemic.
It's
Things
hard.
are changing,
It's hard.
so
Or
I
even
just
three
don't know.
months in advance.
Yeah, yeah, I just don't know. I was gonna say like for all the viewers there that you have a chat with Jorge and me about the history of the Bachata festivals in
Yes,
the
we
United
did. We
States.
did. Yeah.
Reshare it, man, because that's so much history
That's
that it's
history.
such
Yeah.
a nice conversation that people should know how things started. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's on my channel. It's titled "The Making of the First Bachata Festival in the
Uh,
USA," and Jorge Elizondo is in that podcast as well as Juan Ruiz, and we really went back there and we
yeah,
named names and all of the details that you can name up if
yeah,
you want to
all
know
the
Jorge
history.
history. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he went to develop his Dallas Bachata Festival as well, and then
You know,
just
Jorge told me before after we organized San Francisco, right? Reno first and then San Francisco after Reno. I will never organize a festival, man. This is too hard. Now Jorge
and
has
then
Dallas and
yeah,
Beijing or China.
but in
Is it
Shanghai,
Shanghai? I think Shanghai.
Shanghai, yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
know, eh?
I've
Yeah,
never been to China. I want to go, dude.
well, there you
I
go.
want to go. I want to go. And
There you
on
go,
your
man.
15th anniversary, I'm there. On your 15th
Okay.
anniversary, I always feel compelled to go to your festival because I give your festival a lot of credit for making me an international teacher. Because after that, I got gigs all over the world
That's
after
cool,
that
man.
festival. Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I give a lot of credit with that. And I also give a lot of credit to Sky for hooking me up because I went there a week in advance, if you remember. She
Mm-hmm.
hooks me up on all of the classes. I teach classes all over the place.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
So
cool. Yeah.
all right, Juan, it's great talking to you. Say hi to
Indeed.
Gabby.
Gabby
Uh,
and Thomas. My
yeah.
son is Thomas, so that's it.
Until next time, we'll talk again. I'm sure there are a lot of things to talk more about. Maybe the next time I bring you, it would be a panel about
Mm-hmm.
certain issues in our community, and we'll
Sounds
go
good.
that way. Uh, I'll try to post this tonight and tag you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this content, make sure you like it. You press like, and if you have not subscribed, on the right side on YouTube, just subscribe. Thank you, Juan
Opa.
Ruiz.
Ciao, my friend. Take care.
Ciao.